Here's my analysis of the number 9 Baylor men's basketball game against number 14 Kansas State. Kansas State won this game. Does they get the sweep 75-65 last night? Baylor allowed 42 points in the paint. That's a problem. That is a major issue. And the points off turnovers was even close, 19-5 in favor of Kansas State. Baylor had a 34-31 lead at half. Just like last game, they blew a halftime lead. Again, they allowed 44 points. Baylor only scored 31. Kansas State's a good defensive team, and they struggled the last two games. They blew the double-digit lead against Kansas. I just wonder if they used so many good shots they had against Kansas in the first half. They couldn't make a lot in the second half for whatever reason. And it seems like the free throws are off, too. I mean, especially from Langston Love, who started 30 for 33 on free throws, and now he's only made, when I look, I want to double check this, he's only made 7 of them out of the last 19. That's a problem. I wonder if it's like some shooting funk. I don't know, but he just needs to relax, take a deep breath. Now, Kansas State for the game shot the ball too good. I mean, 48.3%, 28 for 58 overall. They only shot for 21 on threes, 19%. Maybe against a team that's struggling from 3 all game long, go zone. But the problem is, it doesn't help the penetration issues and the second chance points and fast break points. It doesn't. The game were layups. 15 for 21 on free throws, 71.4%. They kept Baylor in the game because of that reason alone, on the threes and the free throws. 33 rebounds, none of those offensive. 20 assists, way too many to give up. They only have 5 steals, 1 block, 7 turnovers, 14 fouls, 12 points off the bench. Baylor had 14 points off the bench. They won that area. They shot 40% for the game, which they shot worse in the second half, I know. 22 for 55 overall. 11 for 28 on threes, 39.3%. But somebody was missing in terms of scoring the ball. And I'll go over the individual numbers in a sec. 10 for 16 on free throws, 62.5%. That doesn't do any good right there. You can't make those free throws, the game will be a little bit closer and get more stops on defense. It is what it is on the defense right now. 35 rebounds, 11 of those offensive, 15 assists, could be more, 3 steals, could be more, 3 blocks in the game, 13 turnovers, 16 fouls, and it was questionable officiating on both sides of the ball, for both teams. I would admit that right now. It is what it is on the defense. I just don't understand. It seems like Keontae put his hands back and not wanted to get a foul to keep himself on the floor, and he allows straight line drives. That can't happen. Individual numbers. Adam Flagler had such an off game. 4 points on 1 for 13 shooting, 0 for 6 on threes, 2 for 2 on free throws, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 turnovers, 3 fouls. I think he's not going to have that type of game again for the rest of the year. I really don't. In terms of those bad numbers. LJ Cryer had to step up with 16 points, with 6 for 11 shooting, 4 for 7 on threes, 3 rebounds, 2 of those offensive, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 foul. Now, Keontae George had a great game. 23 points on 7 for 15 shooting, 6 for 10 on threes, 3 for 4 on free throws, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 3 turnovers, 3 fouls. Flo Thamba, it seems like to me he's regressed at this point, despite being a 50. I mean, 2 points on 1 for 1 shooting, 1 rebound, 2 fouls. And that was only in 16 minutes. And guess who played the other 24? Just guess. Jonathan Chonwa-Chachwa. Jalen Bridges had an off game too. I mean, 6 points on 2 for 6 shooting, 0 for 3 on threes, 2 for 3 on free throws. But he had 7 rebounds and 2 of those offensive, 4 assists, that's a good number. 2 blocks, 2 steals, but he had 4 fouls. I hope he could get out of this funk. Now, Caleb Lohner, he's a liability. I mean, no points, first of all. 3 rebounds, which is good. It's not great. But he had 3 turnovers. Langston Love, like I said on the free throws, he's been struggling there recently. He had 3 points on 1 for 2 shooting, over 1 on threes, 1 for 3 on free throws. I wish he could make more free throws soon. 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, 1 foul. Now, Jonathan Chalmers-Chatchua had a great game. I mean, 11 points on 4 for 7 shooting, 1 for 1 on threes, 2 for 4 on free throws, which I wish he would make more, like 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 4, but that's besides the point. 12 rebounds, 5 of those offensive, 2 assists, 1 block, 1 turnover, 2 fouls. He's just not there in terms of defensively on quickness right now to guard guards right now. It takes time after not playing for a long time. And remember, he had an ACL tear and that required surgery, and it had some nerve damage too. Maybe at this point, I hate to put him in a starting lineup and over Flo Thamba, because Flo Thamba is more ready. But Flo Thamba ain't doing anything right now, or in the last 4 games. In fact, Drake Toll, I want to give credit to him, he's only scored 12 points in the last 4 games and 8 rebounds. Terrible. I mean, just terrible. But here, I know it hurts to not want to get a share of the Big 12 title. I know it hurts. And I'm going to explain the standings right now before I go in depth of what the games are coming up. Kansas 11-4, Texas 11-4, Kansas State 9-6, Baylor 9-6, Iowa State 8-7, TCU 7-8, Oklahoma State 7-8, Texas Tech 5-10, West Virginia 5-10, Oklahoma 3-12. But there is enough opportunities on the schedule. Once I go over the schedule, there's more opportunities for quad 1 win. Now, Kansas State going forward the rest of the year at Oklahoma State, good luck. But I know with them, but it's tough to be on the road. And I also think Jerome Tang knows the Baylor players more this year than probably next year. It's just a fact. I mean, he's been there forever. But next year he won't have the advantage, because Miro Little's coming in, Jacoby Walter, and possibly Yves Missy, and maybe another transfer. Sure, we're going to lose Flo Thamba and possibly Adam Flagler, and maybe even like Jordan Turner, Zach Loveday, or Dale Bonner to the transfer portal, but that's just way too far to speculate on that. But I'm just, because they don't play, I'm just pointing that out. But Kansas State does have Oklahoma at home. They shouldn't lose. West Virginia on the road. West Virginia is on the bubble. That's a trap game for Kansas State right before the Big 12 tournament. Because if West Virginia needs to win that last home game, they need to, in order to make the bid dance to the NCAA tournament and possibly even one Big 12 tournament game and they're in, or get a road game and they're in. Okay, now Baylor's schedule from the rest of the year. They have number 8 Texas coming up, and they blew out Iowa State. But Iowa State's just terrible on the road. It's the way it is. At Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's kind of reeling right now, but still, it's on the road. That's tough. And you get Iowa State at home. I'm not going to lie to you that this schedule is tough. I'm not going to lie. But there's 3 quad 1 wins available at most during the regular season, besides the Big 12 tournament. Besides that, and let's just prepare for the NCAA tournament right now. And not only that, we need to find a way to get to the highest seed possible, which I think is a 2 seed. in the NCAA at this point. Forget 1 seed. Unless we go on a tear in the Big 12 tournament, which I don't know. And the defense is like one of the worst we've had in a long time. I mean, since 2008-2009 season, I believe. But it's one of the best we've had ever. I mean, we're like supposedly the number one, a top 5 offense according to Kim Palm right now, offensively. It's a defense that's in the top, is pretty close to the hundreds. That ain't going to get the job done. Which is causing me for concern that we could not make it to Sweet 16 because of that defense. I just think we're just trying to get John acclimated more. And I do know maybe next year will be better defensively. It doesn't solve. We're going to be better defensively, I think, because of those incoming guys coming in. They're better defenders than some of the current ones right now. So I'm just pointing that out. And John's going to get one more year anyway. He should be back. So he should be. So we're going to be just fine there. And if Joe Bridges comes back, that's going to help immensely. Then you have Mira Little and Jacoby Walters. Both of those guys could be very well starters. Could be. And still bring in Langston Love off the bench. We'll have to. It's way too early to talk about next year already. I know. I'm just saying the offense should be there still next year regardless. It's the defense that needs to be fixed. And don't forget, we have D'Antoine Grimes that's redshirting. And I've heard that he's the next Davion Mitchell in terms of defense. And possibly even offensive side of the ball too. That's redshirting. I think we're going to be better off. Next year is just this year. And I don't know if this team could still go to the Final Four, but it's just all about matchups. Anyways, if you like this content, hit like and subscribe, and see you guys later. It's 500 subscribers. We're on the road to it. Let's go.